everyone, so welcome back once again. In this video, we're gonna solve the question paper of managerial economics. So, this basically covers the question of macroeconomics. There was two questions from past years. So the first question is explain the concept of small open economy. How the policy of fiscal expansion in the rest of the world does affect the position of net foreign investment and trade balance in such an economy. And the second question has two parts. Explain the circular flow of income in three-sector economy with the help of a suitable example and diagram. And second was distinguish between nominal exchange rate and real exchange rate with the help of the example. So one by one, we're gonna discuss these questions. So before that, if you haven't subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel and hit the like button. So let's go with the first question. Explain the concept of small economy. So firstly, we have to explain what small open economy is, and then we have to explain the policy of fiscal expansion in the rest of the world affects the position of net foreign investment and trade balance. So let's see, firstly, what is small open economy? So small open economy is an economic model that represent a country that participate in international trade but is too small to influence global market prices or interest rate. So in other words, it is a price taker in the international market, meaning it accepts the world interest rate and world prices of goods and services as given. सो बेसिकली स्मॉल इकोनॉमी आपका वो मॉडल है जिसमें अ कंट्री पार्टिसिपेट इन इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड बट उसका इन्फ्लुएंस जो ग्लोबल मार्केट प्राइसेस और इंटरेस्ट रेट पे होता है वो बहुत ही छोटा होता है. इन अदर वर्ड्स इनको प्राइस टेकर भी बोला जाता है. मतलब ये जो भी वर्ल्ड इंटरेस्ट रेट होता है या फिर जो भी वर्ल्ड की प्राइसेस होते हैं गुड्स और सर्विसेज की, वो एज इट इज ही अडॉप्ट कर लेते हैं. सो द फीचर्स आर फ्री ट्रेड, it participate in international trade with no major restriction, perfect capital mobility होता है, मतलब it can borrow or lend in international financial market at the world interest rate, or price taker in global market. So it takes the world interest rate denoted as R and cannot affect through its policies. So सबसे पहले we have to see the effect of fiscal expansion in the rest of the world on an small open economy. So what is fiscal expansion? Fiscal expansion का मतलब होता है कि इंक्रीज इन गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग या फिर रिडक्शन हो गया टैक्सेस बाय द फॉरेन कंट्रीज, जो कि टिपिकली हमारे डिमांड बढ़ा देता है या फिर हायर वर्ल्ड इंटरेस्ट रेट हो जाता है. सो लेट्स सी द डेफिनेशन. Fiscal expansion in the rest of the world refers to an increase in government spending or in reduction in taxes by foreign countries, which typically increase demand and can lead to higher world interest rate. So let's see the mechanism. So if the world interest rate increases, so physical expansion abroad increase the demand for global fund, pushing up a global interest rate. So fiscal expansion की वजह से world interest rate बढ़ता है. And impact on domestic interest rate क्या होता है कि since a small open economy cannot affect the world interest rate, it must also face the higher rate. This increase makes domestic borrowing more expensive. Now we have to see how does it affect net foreign investment. So first of all we have to see what is net foreign investment. Net foreign investment कुछ नहीं होता है, कंट्रीज की सेविंग और उनके इन्वेस्टमेंट का जो डिफरेंस होता है वही आपका NFIO होता है. So net foreign investment is a difference between a country's savings and its investment in a small open economy. NFI can be influenced by changes in global interest rates and economic condition. So अगर हायर ग्लोबल इंटरेस्ट रेट है तो मतलब अगर फिजिकल एक्सपेंशन आपकी फिजिकल एक्सपेंशन की वजह से ही हायर इंटरेस्ट रेट होता है ग्लोबली. सो इन्वेस्टर्स मे सीक टू इन्वेस्ट इन कंट्रीज ऑफरिंग बेटर रिटर्न्स एंड दिस कुड लीड टू कैपिटल आउटफ्लो फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल ओपन इकोनॉमी रिड्यूसिंग NFI. क्योंकि आपका ग्लोबल इंटरेस्ट रेट ज़्यादा हो गया है तो जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं वो उस कंट्री में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे जहाँ पे रिटर्न्स ज़्यादा होंगे, इसकी वजह से हमारा आउटफ्लो होगा मनी का. सो NFI रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. सेकेंड इज इंक्रीज फॉरेन डिमांड. अगर फिजिकल एक्सपेंशन होगा उसकी वजह से फॉरेन डिमांड जो हो जाती है फॉर स्मॉल ओपन इकोनॉमी वो ज़्यादा हो जाती है, मतलब हमारे एक्सपोर्ट्स बढ़ जाएंगी. इसकी वजह से जो हमारा करंट अकाउंट बैलेंस है वो इम्प्रूव हो सकते हैं एंड पोटेंशियली इंक्रीजिंग NFI इफ सेविंग राइजेस. ठीक है, दिस वॉज द इफेक्ट ऑन नेट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट. नाउ विल सी द इफेक्ट ऑन ट्रेड बैलेंस. सो ट्रेड बैलेंस बेसिकली क्या होता है, आपके एक्सपोर्ट्स बढ़ जाएंगी और आपकी डिमांड हाँ इंक्रीज इन एक्सपोर्ट्स और इम्पोर्ट्स भी बढ़ेंगे. कैसे? क्योंकि इफ फिजिकल एक्सपेंशन हैपन्स देन अब्रॉड बूस्ट डिमांड फॉर एक्सपोर्ट्स फ्रॉम द स्मॉल ओपन इकोनॉमी एंड दिस कैन इम्प्रूव इट्स ट्रेड बैलेंस लीडिंग टू अ सरप्लस. तो और इम्पोर्ट्स कैसे बढ़ेंगे कि जब आपको हायर इनकम हो रहा है तो यू मे ऑल्सो इम्पोर्ट गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज मोर. सो कन्वर्सली इफ अ स्मॉल ओपन इकोनॉमी एक्सपीरियंस हायर इनकम लेवल ड्यू टू इंक्रीज्ड एक्सपोर्ट, it may also import more goods and services. And the third effect will be on exchange rate. So change in global interest rate can also affect the change rates, and appreciation of the domestic currency would make export more expensive and imports more cheaper, which might negatively impact the trade balance. So appreciation of domestic currency means कि अगर पहले आपका $1 में there was a 75 INR and अब वो 70 हो गया है, तो देर इज़ एन एप्रिशिएशन ऑफ डोमेस्टिक करेंसी। और अगर एप्रिशिएशन हुआ है डोमेस्टिक करेंसी का, तो एक्सपोर्ट्स आपके एक्सपेंसिव हो जाएंगे और इम्पोर्ट्स चीप हो जाएंगे। Let's see the summary. So fiscal expansion in the rest of the world can have a significant implications for a small open economy. मतलब it may leads to increased export demand, improving the trade balance, या फिर इसकी वजह से higher global interest rate हो सकता है, जिसकी वजह से net foreign investment पे effect हो सकता है. The overall effect on NFI and the trade balance will depend on the interplay between the increased export demand and change in capital flow due to the interest rate adjustment. So this was all about this first question. Now moving to the second question. First part, that is explain the circular flow of income in a three-sector economy with the help of suitable diagram. So basically three-sector economy includes firms, individuals and government. Let's see this. So circular flow of income होता क्या है? तो in a three-sector economy involves three key participants, that are household, firms and the government. It explains how income and expenditure move between these sectors, showing the interdependence of economic activity. So circular flow of economy income in three sector basically shows कि आपका household, firm और government के बीच में income और expenditure कैसे move हो रहा है और कितना interdependence है economic activities का in three sectors में. The three sectors include household, firms and government. So household, the consumer who provide factor of production like labor, land, capital to firms, or in return they receive wages, rent या interest profit. So this is considered under household. The firms include businesses that produce goods and services by employing factor of production provided by household. And then the government, it collects taxes from both household and firms and also provide public good and services along with the transfer payment like pensions. Now let's see the circular flow of income in a three-sector economy. So basically the first two-sector economy flow includes household and firm. The household supply factor of production like land, labor, capital to firms. Firms pay factor income, wages, rent, interest rate to household. Then household use their income to purchase goods and services produced by firms, creating expenditure for household and revenues for firm. So this creates a continuous circular flow of income and expenditure between household and firms. Now the involvement of government make it a third sector economy. So the government adds complexity in the circular flow in two ways mainly. So taxes. The government collect taxes from both the household and firms, reducing the disposal income from household and profit for firms. And government spending also. The government spends on public goods and services such as education, infrastructure and defense, transferring money back into the economy. This spending benefits both household and firms, supporting production and income. Then also government provides subsidies and transfer. The government also provides subsidies to firms and transfer payment like pension and unemployment benefit to household. So redistributing income within the economy. So let's take an example that household earn wages by working in a factory firm. The firm sells product to household. The government collects taxes from both, income tax from household and corporate tax from firms, and the government uses the tax revenue to build roads, hire public sector workers or provide welfare benefit. So this is an example of three sector economy. So let's see between these how the income flows. So household receive wages from firms, spend part of their income on goods and services and pay taxes to the government, and firm uses revenue from household to pay for labor and other inputs and also pay taxes, and the government uses taxes for revenue for public services, which in turn benefit households and firm. So here's the diagram of three sector economy: business, firm, government and household. Now moving to the second part of this question is differentiate between nominal exchange rate and real exchange rate. So nominal and real exchange rate are two different ways of measuring the value of one currency relative to another. While the nominal exchange rate is focused on the direct comparison of currency, the real exchange rate adjusts for different prices levels between countries. So nominal exchange rate और real exchange rate में difference क्या है कि nominal exchange rate आपका direct comparison होता है किसी दो कंट्री के करेंसी के बीच में, जबकि रियल एक्सचेंज रेट में वो प्राइसेस को कंट्री के अकॉर्डिंग एडजस्ट करके उनका कंपैरिजन करते हैं. लेट्स सी, नॉमिनल एक्सचेंज रेट आपका वो रेट होता है जिसपे one currency can be exchanged for another in the foreign exchange market. जिस रेट पे आपको एक करेंसी दूसरे करेंसी के लिए एक्सचेंज हो सकता है फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मार्केट में, that rate is known as nominal exchange rate. It is expressed at the number of units of foreign currency that can be purchased with 1 unit of the domestic currency or vice versa. जैसे कि nominal exchange rate का formula होता है foreign currency divided by domestic currency. Example is, let's say nominal exchange rate between Indian rupee INR and the US dollar USD is 1 USD is equals to 80 INR. This means 80 INR you can buy 1 USD. If the nominal exchange rate changes to 1 USD to 85, means the rupee value has depreciated in nominal terms because now it takes more rupee to buy $1. And earlier, if it goes from 80 to 75, this means the rupee value has appreciated. The nominal exchange rate only reflects the currency price in the market and does not account for differences in the price level of goods and services between countries. Now the real exchange rate क्या करता है कि nominal exchange rate को adjust करता है for differences in price level between two countries, और इससे एक accurate sense मिलता है, एक accurate answer मिलता है for purchasing power of one currency in another country. So it tells us how much of country's good can be traded for another country's good, taking into account inflation. Okay, now the formula for the real exchange rate is nominal exchange rate into domestic price level divided by foreign price level. So the real exchange rate reflects how much of foreign goods and services a domestic currency can buy relative to domestic goods and services after adjusting for inflation. Let's take an example. If the nominal exchange rate is 80 INR USD and the price level in USA is 100 base price index and price level in India is 120, by using the formula we can get answer 96 by multiplying 80 and 120 and dividing it by 100. So this means that after adjusting for price level, goods that cost 96 INR in India can be traded for goods that cost 1 USD in US. So if the real exchange rate increases, Indian goods are more expensive relative to US goods and vice versa. Now here's a chart table for the differentiation. So first is definition. The rate at which one currency can be exchanged for another is the nominal exchange rate, and the nominal exchange rate adjusted for differences in price is known as real exchange rate. The purpose of nominal exchange rate is to show the market value of currencies, and for real exchange rate the purpose is to show the purchasing power of one country's currency relative to another. Nominal exchange rate is influenced by supply and demand in foreign exchange market, and real exchange rate is influenced by nominal exchange rate and inflation between the countries. Nominal exchange rate does not account for inflation, but real exchange rate accounts for inflation. Effect on trade. Nominal exchange rate affect the prices at which international trade occurs, and real exchange rate reflects the competitiveness of a country's good relative to another. So for example, nominal exchange rate 1 USD is equals to 80 INR, and real exchange rate adjusts this value based on relative price levels. So moving on, what is the importance of real exchange rate? So real exchange rate gives a competitiveness of export. The real exchange rate measures how competitive a country's goods and services are in comparison to foreign goods. If the real exchange rate is higher, it means domestic goods are relatively expensive, reducing the demand for export. And a low real exchange rate means domestic goods is cheaper for foreigner, boosting exports. So purchasing power parity. The concept of real exchange rate is closely related to purchasing power parity, which suggests that over time nominal exchange rate should adjust so that identical goods cost the same in different goods when measured in common currency. Now take an example. Imagine the nominal exchange rate between India and US remain constant at 80. However, due to high inflation in India, the prices of goods in India rises by 10%, while US prices remains the same. In this case, the real exchange rate would increase, making Indian goods more expensive relative to US goods, even though the nominal exchange rate has not changed. This difference shows that while the nominal exchange rate gives a surface level comparison of currency, the real exchange rate provides a deeper understanding of relative pricing power and trade competitiveness. So this was all about these two questions from the past year. Hope you liked the video. Thank you, and please do subscribe the video. Bye bye.